Hello, teacher. My name is Dalixa Cedeño, and I'm going to answer the next questions about the case study. First question, what makes teaching effective? Second question, what do you think are the most important factors that make online teaching successful? And third question, do you think online teaching can be as effective as face-to-face teaching? Let's start. Well, answering to the first question, what makes teaching effective? Teaching becomes effective when it transforms passive reception into active engagement. According to the literature review, effective teaching is not just about delivering content, it's about creating a dynamic learning environment where students feel empowered, included, and intellectually stimulated. The document emphasizes strategies like role play, visual simulations, and formative feedback, which help students build confidence and self esteem. But beyond techniques, effective teaching requires emotional intelligence and adaptability. From a critical standpoint, teaching effectiveness hinges on the teacher's ability to recognize and respond to diverse learner needs. This includes understanding different learning styles, identifying internal and external barriers, and designing lessons that are inclusive and flexible. A teacher who fosters curiosity, encourages ownership of learning, and creates space for dialogue is far more impactful than one who simply follows a rigid curriculum. Moreover, the integration of theories like Banner's cognitive development and Herzberg's motivation hygiene model suggests that intellectual stimulation and emotional engagement are equally vital. Teaching becomes truly effective when it's not just informative but transformative. Second question, what do you think are the most important factors that make online teaching successful? Online teaching presents unique challenges and opportunities. The document highlights the value of blended and experimental learning, which are especially relevant in virtual settings. But to critically assess what makes online teaching successful, we need to look beyond tools and platforms. First, structure and clarity are essential. In the absence of physical cues, students rely heavily on how well content is organized and communicated. Clear objectives, intuitive navigation, and predictable pacing help reduce cognitive overload. Second, is key. Online teaching must simulate the engagement of a classroom through discussion forums, breakout rooms, quizzes, and multimedia. The use of visual aids and role play, even in virtual formats, can enhance motivation and creativity. Third, teacher presents matches. Students need to feel that their instructor is accessible, responsive, and invested in their progress. Timely feedback, personalized messages, and synchronous sessions help build that connection. And fourth, accessibility and equity must be prioritized. Not all the students have the same technological resources or learning environments. Successfully online teaching accounts for these disparities by offering flexible formats, downloadable materials, and asynchronous options. Ultimately, online teaching succeeds when it's designed with empathy, not just efficiency. Third and last question. Do you think online teaching can be as effective as face to face teaching? This is a announced question, and the answer depends on how we define effective. The document suggests that blended and experimental approaches can reduce classroom disruption and improve outcomes, which implies that online teaching has the potential to match traditional methods. But critically speaking, effectiveness is not inherent to the medium. It's shaped by how the medium is used. Face to face teaching naturally allows for spontaneous interaction, emotional cues, and immediate feedback. These elements foster a sense of community and responsiveness that can be harder to replicate online. However, online teaching offers flexibility, scalability, and access to diverse resources that physical classrooms may lack. When online teaching is thoughtfully designed with interactive elements, inclusive strategies, and strong communication, it can be just as effective, and in some cases, more so. For example, students who are shy or need more time to process information may thrive in asynchronous environments. That said, online teaching demands more intentionality. It requires educators to rethink how they build relationships, assess learning, and foster engagement. So, yes, online teaching can be as effective, but only when it's approached with the same care, creativity, and commitment as face to face instruction. Thank you.